What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television, and today we're going to be getting into Legion of X, Issue 3. But before we do, I want to thank all of you for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing all that beautiful YouTube stuff. It really means the world to us here at the channel. Without you guys interacting with us here at the channel, we wouldn't be going anywhere. Only together can we go straight to the moon, baby. Because every interaction helps us get into that recommended site, recommended site of YouTube and stuff. But let's get into it. Legion of X, number 3. This is the cover here. Written by Cy Spurrier. Artist is Jan Abazadua. Cover artist is Federico Blee. The cover artist is Sergio Davila and David Curiel. Curiel. The title of the issue is We're All Mad Here. And basically, just as a reminder, Weaponless Zen was sent from Krakoa by her leader to investigate possible god of mischief escaping into the island of Krakoa. And during her time in Krakoa, her and Nigjtcrawler have seemed to grown an affinity for each other, a possible romance. This book, they're trying to figure out who it is that's jumping from person to person, also trying to police the island of Krakoa and be there for people to make it a peaceful community. Here we start off with Weaponless Zen, Pixie, Nigjtcrawler, each starting their part of the story. Basically, we find out that the name of the skinjacker is Switch. She happens to now have taken over Doctor Strange, who happened to stop by and visit the island of Krakoa. In this issue, we get Legion and Cain Marko, aka the Juggernaut, building a rapport, so to speak, in this issue. Cain Marko, being the brother of Charles Xavier, is basically the uncle of Legion. And in this issue, Cain Marko explains to Legion how when Switch took over his body, he can't shake the feeling that he had from that, because it left him in a cold and dark place in his mind, and he's trying to move away from that in his life. At one point in his life, he was very driven by jealousy and anger towards his brother Charles Xavier, when really the anger should have been aimed at his own father. He has used the power of Sidorak for evil intentions in the past, but he currently is trying to better his life by, being a member of the Legionnaire team here. And him and David just really seem to bond over their connection, family connection, talking a little shit about Charles and stuff like that. We also see here our friend Paulie that we met last issue, or the issue before. He's been going through a traumatic experience since his wife had passed away from cancer. And here in the altar, David, aka Legion, has allowed him to make himself available to forget those memories or whatever, or to be eased of those memories without necessarily erasing them, but the pain and everything, to ease the pain of it, That's part of the purpose of the altar here. One of the purposes for the altar is for his fellow mutants who are going through traumatic experiences to be mentally healed so they don't have to carry around the trauma anymore, because he himself understands carrying around trauma and anger towards a situation that you wasted so much time on where you could have been living a happier life, and he wants to make himself available for that now. So basically we have Legion and Juggernaut, both considered villains in some ways in the past, bonding over not only being family, but bonding over trying to figure out what way is their best way to help with the world. And I thought that was a pretty cool connection. I'm glad Paulie's able to help get past some of his trauma. They finally did capture Switch, so to speak, here, and they're trying to figure out what to do with them, what to do with him, the entity, because they didn't kill anybody. They didn't kill any mutants. They didn't kill any people. It's so according to their laws and bylaws, the entity didn't really do anything but possession. But you can't exactly let this switch go either, because it's almost like they're going to just keep doing what they're doing. Meanwhile, the rest of the team here is going inside the mind of Krakoa, because don't forget that Krakoa is a living island. And so they're going into his mind, and of a lot of these things that are going on is going to be mental defenses, because this god of mischief, who we're being led to believe that's possibly Loki, has taken over this area of Krakoa to hide, because you can't really seem to find him in any other places. So he seems to have been hiding in the mind of Krakoa, draining and gaining energy that way. So they're trying to figure out how to get this entity out of there, the god. And near the end, as we're closing out, we see Juggernaut getting back to save the day for the team that's in the mind of Krakoa. And let's see what else here we got. Let's see what else we got and everything. The team seems to be getting overwhelmed with everything. And each part of what they're trying to do in the mission, they're being overtaken until they get saved at the last minute by this guy. It is Banshee, and we learn that he will be known as Vox Ignis after this story, because he is bonded with the spirit of variance by Mother Righteousness between issues 2 and issues 3. So basically, where we leave off with this issue is the team some team members bonding, getting a more in-depth bonding experience. We see a new version of Banshee. We see Switch, the body jacker, the skin jacker, as they called it, being captured. But will Switch be able to be contained and held? And now that they're coming closer and closer to where this god of mischief is, can they defeat this god of mischief, even if it's Loki or someone else? We'll find out who it is soon enough. But we'll find out soon enough, I guess, right? I know, and people who have read this story know. But if you're going into this fresh, I won't get too much into whether it's Loki officially or not. But they definitely are gearing towards making you think that it's Loki, right? Because of the horns, being referred to as a god of mischief and stuff. Basically, what he's trying to do, this god of mischief, is gain his power and stuff like that through the island itself and the people and then thus through the people that are living on the island. Seems like Mother Righteousness is there to just try to help, but don't forget too that in some of this informational stuff that they give us in the books, the more people that have faith in you, the more power you can gain into godhood. So I believe that's what Mother Righteousness' plan is at this point, is to do these things to help people so they can just give her faith, and the more faith she accumulates by people, the more powerful she will become, and then kind of will achieve some form of godhood through that. I think that's what her end goal is. We don't really get into a full revelation of who she is until near the end of the series and into the Sins of Sinister story. But, so if you've been keeping up with that stuff, you kind of know who she is and what her game plan is, her end goal is, as it's starting to become clearer in the picture of the grand scheme of things. But basically here how we end off is the skinjacker switch being captured, the Legion of X team confronting this god of mischief, the continuing budding romance between Weaponless Zen and Nigjtcrawler, and a budding rapport between Legion and Juggernaut. Again, I like this series a lot. I collected the whole run. We'll continue, obviously, until issue 10 where it ends. And by then, I can finish up the Sins of Sinister storyline that's been going on with that. I did cover the first issue of that. It's in the playlist, Nigjtcrawler playlist. But I'll finish up issues 2 and 3 of that. And Sins of Sinister Dominion, because I'm assuming now all come together for the stories that have been happening with that. But let me know what you think of this series so far. Did you like what you've seen in this issue? Did you not like it? Let me know down below. And until next time, peace, Snookums.